What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Mark and Kendra Unscripted. And on the unscripted, we're just going to go ahead and just get this. We're like an hour ahead of schedule. You got to do a call after this. I'm going to be hitting Joan and Enrique with some freaking ideas and some energy and 7 dials. They're not even ready for this yet.
They're ready.
So listen, we're back here. This is number 3 or 4, guys?
3.
This is number 3, right? And I'm enjoying it. And the whole purpose this month when they asked was like, hey, what do you want to focus on? And like, honestly, I didn't even care about the first month. I just wanted to like get back into the rhythm, get back into the cadence, get back into the consistency that we need. Mm-hmm. And today's topic, what I want to talk about is consistency inside of a relationship. And I want to start narrowing the focus into our demographic, our core demographic, right? Mm-hmm. Married, business owner, entrepreneurs, high-level executives, 35 to 60 years old, who are married or divorced, who have kids, who don't think they're alcoholics, but they have a drinking problem, or are looking for a way to change their life because they want to win again. Can you repeat that?
I could, pretty close.
I don't expect you to. But what I want to talk about as we come in here is I think a lot of the things, I want to go from the wise perspective, because this is something that you always coach and that you train and lead our guys. Like we just did a call the other day. There were like 76, I think was the final total on there, which was cool. I don't get that many on my call. You seem to get more people on your call. You also get more likes inside of our own group than I do. So I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just not as pretty as you. But what you always preach and teach about is doing what you said you're going to do. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty simple. Everyone talks about that, right? You can find any guru online or anybody that's out making content and they're always talking, yeah, man, it's just simple. Just do what you said you're going to do. The truth, the problem is most people don't do what they said they're going to do.
It's true.
Right? And I want to break it down today, and I want to talk about why you think the consistency in our relationship, or what you think consistency in our relationship does to help us get closer through the hard times. Because let's be honest, most people that come into our world, they're not winning the way they want to win. Mm-hmm. They might have won the financial game, but their marriages are typically broken, disconnected, kids are pissed off at them, they're overweight, they're out of shape, but they still believe that there's a chance. Now, you've never had to face any of those things, right? Because we've had our own set of challenges.
Right.
And through all of it, you said many times that the one thing that I've done is helped you be you, right? I let you be you with no pressure and none of that stuff. But what I've always ultimately been is consistent, right? Consistent to my word, but that means that I still make a mess all the time.
Sure.
Right? So why do you think it's important when somebody, man or woman, are going to change their life together, that consistency actually matters?
Mm-hmm. I think I want to go a different way, because this was coming to my heart when you were talking about it, and I think
just do whatever you want.
I think even before asking somebody to be consistent, I think why the dynamic of our relationship works incredibly well, and why it's so easy in a sense for you to be consistent and do exactly what you said you were going to do, is because you know exactly what type of man and leader you want to be inside of our home. And so what I mean by that is you have become the man because that is who you are and that is who you desire to be. You wanted to be a man of your word. You wanted to be a man who shows up with discipline. You wanted to be a man who is there for his children. And so it is so easy, in a sense, for me to be consistent, for you to be consistent, because that's who you want to be. You're not doing it to appease me. You're not saying, oh, I think a lot of relationships get into this murky or this like really unattractive area in the relationship where the husband starts saying like, okay, well, who do I need to be because that's who she wants me to be. Oh, she wants me to be consistent. She wants me to spend more time with the kids. She wants me to do this, and that's going to make her happy. No, what's going to make her happy is when you are the man, because that's who you want to be, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you are insane. You are literally crazy. Things do not work out all the time. But the one thing that you never change about you is who you want to be. Right? And so I never have to question, I never have to guess, and so I just think that it's so overlooked. And you're never doing something to win my approval, right? You're not like, oh, if I do this, then I know Kendra is going to be, maybe you do.
No, I was actually going to say, let me say something there, right? Because I've never actually done anything for your approval. I've only done it because you said you wanted to go with me.
100%.
Right? So like,
and so even now going on to that,
it's like I have a partner, even when you're not, like when you think of a partner, you're equally yoked, and it's in the business, you're my partner, everything you do, right? Yeah. But a lot of times my energy it like pulls us forward and pushes us forward, does all that stuff, right? But like I'm always being consistent because you're like, yeah, I want to go there with you.
100%. And even furthermore, inside of that, like you just said, the husbands are like, oh, well, I just want my wife to be happy, or I just want her to grow with me, or I just want all these things. She's not going to do that because you're not leading. You're not being the man. You're not being a man who you want to be, right? And so when I know, and we talk about this often, it's a conversation that we actually have almost every day. Like, who
you
are
keep
we?
going back to that. You keep going back to that man that you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, from your perspective,
mm-hmm.
and maybe it'll help him out because his wife, like what is that? How does one figure out who they want to be when they don't know who they are?
Yeah, that's
in your
yeah,
from
no, you're
a
probably
woman's
right.
perspective.
Well, I think that if
Like,
we're
I know what I
if we're
want.
putting it from like a coachable, like what's a tangible, actionable thing they can do?
Yeah, let
is-
them learn some
is
shit here.
Who are you? Like really, who are you? What do you want in your life, and why do you want it? If a man can't answer those 3 questions, who are you? What do you want? And why do you want it? And he can be so rock solid, right? You have to be flexible in how you get there because life's journey is absolutely insane. We know that.
Sure.
But when he knows that and his foundation is so solid inside of that, a wife feels safe. I feel so safe, and it's so easy to be consistent in our relationship because you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know why you want it. Now, does that mean our road to does that mean that road is easy? No, of course it doesn't. But it doesn't waver. You don't waver, so I don't waver. You keep, again, and going back to, you do what you said you're going to do. So no matter how troublesome things get, no matter how tired you get, no matter how whatever, again, you know who you are, you know what you want, and you know why you want it. It's something we talk about often, literally, verbally, out loud. Mm-hmm. I've answered those questions for myself. I see you showing up every day. I see you putting in the work. I see you get your ass kicked and still get up and go to work. So what does that do for a wife? It puts so much proof and believability inside of who her husband is that, one, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like excited to grow. This is my husband. I am so freaking lucky that I have a warrior of a husband who I can count on. Right? And so inevitably all the proof I need in who you are and what we're doing is in you.
So you think that the baseline of those 3 questions is what allows someone to lead their family? Like those 3, I think those are 3 fundamental questions everyone should ask themselves at every
100%
level,
I
right?
do.
Like, why do you think? And it's great that I get to ask you these things because I coach this stuff every single day, right? So, from your perspective, why do guys lose sight of who they are?
I think it's easy.
Or do you think that they ever actually took the time out?
I think the first biggest thing is they don't actually ever think that deeply. They don't actually remove the labels. They don't actually really think about what they want. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't think
Why?
even furthermore, why do they want
I'm just going to be
it?
like a little kid right now. Why? Because what's cool about it is you get to share your side of what you see because you see me do it every day. But like, why don't they do it? Do you think they're afraid? Do you think there's some information down there they don't want to know? Do you think that comfort is a god of this generation, or from where they came from, they had parents that weren't self-developed, or is it all of these things?
It's all of it. I've seen a little bit of.
Do you want to know what I think it is?
Yeah, I do. I mean, you coach it more than
why,
I do.
But like what I know what it is, nobody fucking tells you.
Yeah, and nobody tells you.
Nobody tells you.
Yeah.
Like these kids back here, right? They're here. Well, who am I? They're probably wondering like, who am I? If they actually sit down and think about it, they probably don't even know who they are yet. It's just like you really, when you strip yourself down, the fabric of the DNA, what makes you up, why you think the way you think, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Why you do the things that you do, why you love the way you love. And you go down, like no one ever told you, like, hey, dude, the real baseline of absolute happiness is to know who you are.
Yes, exactly. To truly know
To
who
truly
you
know
are.
who you are, not just who you pretend to be.
Yes, exactly.
And I think a lot of times in relationships, especially with the guys that I'll give it back to you in a minute, but what happens is we were born with dreams. Most
Imagination, yeah.
Imaginations, right? But like dreams, imagination, my guys in my world, we came from nothing. Most of my clients,
of them.
my best clients, the guys I'm the closest with, they're the dogs, man. They
Yeah,
came from fucking
they are.
nothing, right? They're out to prove something. So on their road to prove who they are, to prove their worth, they find incredible amounts of value and self-worth inside of what they produce. So they produce a ton of money, right? They get the house, they get the hot wife, they get the boat, they got the kids, they got all this shit. They're just running around. They think that's what they're supposed to do, but they get so far away. Like that was the dream. They get so far away from this person that it gets so heavy because they did no growth. It starts going like this, right? And you're dipping down like it's a big tree bench. It's just getting heavy. And they're like, fuck down. And they got all this weight. They don't know what to do. And they start having to let go of the stuff because No one ever told them to know who you are. Because at every level that you go to, you pick up bad habits. You truly do.
You do.
You pick up bad habits, you pick up good habits. Like even in my growth and my self-development, I pick up a ton of bad habits.
Sure.
There's coaches that I've been coached by and trained by where I went down some of the things that they did, which is wrong for me.
Yep.
It doesn't work for me.
Exactly.
But it added to my pile, and my branch got heavier. But I want to go back to this. Why does consistency make you trust me so much? Because this is the piece that these guys struggle with. They just want trust.
Yeah, of course.
They want it now, and they honestly haven't fucking done enough to get it. Just that's the truth. So they should just go fuck off and keep doing the work, bottom line. But why is it so important for me to be consistent? Like if you saw, I am pretty sporadic in a lot of things I do, right? I'm crazy, like you said, but I still go where I want to go. And my things I do every day, there's a baseline of truth that I do every single day that helps you trust me. What would happen if I started doing something to mess that up?
Yeah, I think definitely from my perspective, and because you are a man of your word, because you are a steady, rock solid, steady, do what you say you're going to do, man. Again, I find safety inside of that. I find safety inside of trusting you. So what happens is when these guys are inconsistent, a man who will blow with the wind and change his mind any which way is literally the most unsafe man in a woman's eyes. Right? Doesn't matter how much you provide. It doesn't matter how, like it does not matter. The money is so insignificant. What she's looking for is like this femininity and masculinity polarity. Okay. So again, I know every single day that no matter what the business throws, no matter how the kids are acting, no matter what happens, is that you are essentially this rock steady glass, right? You are this glass. You hold the form. You hold the formation, right? And inside of that, that's what a woman's looking for, is to be the water inside of that glass. Sure. And to know that, okay, no matter what happens, my husband is holding me inside of this. A man who can't hold a formation, a man that doesn't do that is a disaster and a mess, and doesn't know who he is and doesn't know what, like, it literally boils down to those very basic doing what you said you're going to do. And again,
be honest, right?
Yeah.
Like for these guys, even though I do that, there's still a lot of different emotions that come with it.
Yeah, of course.
Right. So like, I want you to paint the picture of consistency that I do. Like some days I'm angry, right? Like some days I'm screaming, some days I'm fucking happy, some days I'm silly, right? Some days I'm sad. It's not like I don't have the emotions. I still do what's required every day though. And I think,
yeah, so if you're
so
actually
like,
talking about,
somebody might be thinking it needs to be the fucking same every single time.
No.
That's not consistency.
I think if you're talking about like the basic things that you literally do every day, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
or is it more of like an emotional pull that you're talking about?
More of the emotional pull, because I mean the basics are the basics, right? Don't drink, don't watch porn, don't do smoke cigarettes.
You get up every day, you
crack.
work, you go, you get up every day. I know you're going to go to the gym, you're going to send me a video, you're going to, like those, you're very.
I feel like that's just basic shit that everybody should do.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people get that wrong, you know? I mean, I don't know, but I would imagine that if every single day your life is chaotic in a sense, you need to me, that would make such obvious sense why your household or why your wife doesn't trust you or doesn't want to follow you or feels inconsistent. A lot of husbands overlook the fact that if your wife, if you want to know what's going inside of your household, look at your wife.
Yeah.
Right? I could look at a husband's wife and I can see that if she's calm, if she speaks well, how she carries herself,
how she looks at
how she looks at him. Oh my gosh,
that's,
yes,
that's a
exactly.
big deal, right?
How she looks at him. All of these are key indicators of what type of leader a man is. You know, I can tell. You can just tell.
I heard.
But you have to look for it. And so I guess because I've studied it and it's something that I've always been interested in. Again, it's something that I look for. But anyways, what was the question that you said?
I'll go back to it. But I heard one time someone said that if the husband is going to like cheat on his workout program, cheat on his diet, right, cheat on the basics, he's going to cheat on you. Maybe not like actual cheat like with another woman, but like he'll let you down. Yeah. He won't do what he says he's going to do.
Well, again, that's why it boils down to that very beginning that I said. If a man doesn't know who he is,
yeah.
If he doesn't know why he wants it, like if you can't keep your word to yourself because that's the type of man you are, then of course everything else in your life is going to feel like dominoes. Your wife's not going to trust you. You told your wife that you were going to stop doing this or start doing this. You were going to spend more time with the kids. You come home from work, you had a bad day, and guess what? The first thing you want to do is go into your study, close the door, and have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever, what does that tell her? That you were inconsistent, you can't be trusted. It's the most obvious things.
Do you think it's a wife's job to remind him?
I think that,
because I don't think.
well, here's the thing.
You've never had to remind me to do the things.
No.
But in our journey, there's times you have to remind me who the fuck I am.
I think that when
I'm getting arrows and guns and blown up and grenades, I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to do
I think that before a wife can have this like exchange of energy, and what I mean by that exchange, like to me, that's an exchange of energy where it's like, I can tell that you got your butt kicked that day. Your head is heavy. You're taking arrows in the back, like you said. I think the most beautiful thing is when you have the foundation of trust, when you have the foundation of consistency, when your husband knows who he is, when your wife knows who she is, right? I absolutely love having that exchange of power and stepping in and reminding you of who you are and being like, hey, listen, like you said, I married you because of X, Y, and Z. Right now, I see that you're lacking, you're slacking, or hey, you need to pick this up. I'm your greatest coach, and you are my greatest coach, right? Like, but
share the text message you gave me this week.
I don't remember exactly what it said, but essentially,
I embellished on it, but
he does, because you use words that I would never use with you. But essentially, again, going back to this exchange of power, you and I have this incredible foundation where it's like we talk about everything. You're consistent, I'm consistent. We know who we are. We know what we want. We know why we want it. And so this has been built over years.
There's honesty.
There's honesty. We talk. Yes, exactly.
Non-negotiable. It's a core value.
It's something that's massively important to
us.
But
I want to share the text message. I think it's important, right? Which was like, I'll do the way that you said it was. I didn't marry that man. I married that man that basically kicked ass every day and didn't give a shit.
Was ruthless and knew exactly what he was going after. Didn't
let people walk all over him.
Essentially, yeah.
Right, is what it was. And I turned around to that. I didn't marry that fucking pussy. You're weak. Wow. So that's the way I shared it with all my team when I was coaching. This is what I had to fucking deal with. But what's interesting about it for me, and this is off topic, but I needed to tell myself that. Like there's words that I need to hear that'll get me to move. It's not always nice. I know it's another topic, but I don't tell myself, "Oh, you're so great, Mark. You should change." I'm like, "Listen, you fucking suck, dude.
Right.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you sick of being broke?"
But let's even a further step inside of that. The reason, again, if we boil it down to the reason that I'm able to go to you and with that exchange and say, hey, like you're sucking right now. This isn't the man I married. Let's like pick it up, right? And the reason why you don't get offended inside of that, and the reason why you don't look at me and you're like, oh, you're just a nag, you're just a bitch, or you're just whatever, right? The reason you don't say that is because you know I'm right. Because you know what kind of man you are. You know what type of man you want to be. And so you don't look at it as like an attack. You look at it as a thank you so much, Kendra, for reminding me of exactly who I am.
And I think 100% that's what it was, right? I never get mad when you tell me something because I'm never. This chick knows me better than anybody. Mm-hmm. I share everything with her, divulge every bit of my ins, outs, good, bad, ugly, right? Too much some of the times. Literally the other day, I told you to walk with me, but I go to the bathroom, right? So like we do everything together to someplace, but like I didn't want to not share my story. So I never, ever, ever take it like it's an attack.
Never.
I always take it like it's criticism, right?
Like constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism in a good way to be like, hey bro, you're not slacking, but if you don't start doing something, you can see where you're going. Because typically in our relationship dynamic, at least, I don't tell you things are going bad when they're bad. I tell you it's going bad when I'm 4 or 5 months ahead because I can see what's coming. Yeah. And then we can course correct and change our lives to prevent what's happening. The only reason we've been able to make it through like off the last time was number one, because of the frugality of the way that we live our life, right? The way that we plan, the way we don't live out over our skis and extend our means. Mm-hmm. But it's also because I'm always looking for the next blow up, right? And you can see it coming. So typically when I'm talking to you and you're coaching me through this stuff, I don't even know if you know this, I'm not worried about right now today. I'm worried about 6 months.
Yes.
Right? Because my job is to go into what type of man am I, or what do I want? Well, one of the things that I want for sure is to make sure that my family never fucking suffers. Mm-hmm. Right? We've got our own problems, we've got our own stuff. Our kids have their own issues they're going to go through, right? Different life that we have, but I never want my family to suffer. And I take that responsibility like
gravely.
Like I don't even know the right word for it, other than the fact that like it's in every ounce of who I am. Mm-hmm. So if you're a wife listening to this,
Yeah.
because you got to get on a call here in a couple minutes. If you're a wife that's listening to this and your husband isn't being consistent, how should she approach him? Or should she not approach him? Number one, send him this podcast.
Honestly, I was going to say, I think typically when you live with a high level, high strung man, it has to feel like his idea. It has to feel like something he came up with, right? But I think it would be really cool if a wife and instead of her, right, approaching him and being like, I don't know. I don't know. Every relationship dynamic is different. But what I would do if I was in the very beginning and I heard something that was, so profound as this, and I would be like, oh my gosh, this is exactly how I feel. Like, I just want to get on the same page. I just want him to be consistent. I want to be inside of his world. I want to grow with him. I want all these things. But I would show him the podcast. I would say, hey, listen, I found these people. They asked some really simple but questions that I feel like, right? Because the door has to be opened. The door has to be open, but it can't be a forcible thing. And the reason I know it can't be a forcible thing is because nobody likes to be forced into looking at themselves and thinking, oh, my wife is showing me this because she thinks I suck or because she thinks, right? So you have to approach it in a way that's like, hey, listen, I want to grow with you. I heard this. This sounds amazing. Do you think we could implement this in our relationship? Oh my gosh, this is something we've never thought about. If it comes from a place of attack, then they're going to go on the offense and they're going to be like, what are you talking about? I'm the one who provides for this family. I'm the one who, right? Automatically you go into this defensive. So I don't know everybody's relationship. All I know is I know ours. And if it was something, and I can speak for Mark 8 years ago, you probably would have been a little defensive, or you would have been like, no, I already know what I'm doing with this family. I already know what I want to do. So I think I would have tried to
Which, by the way, I had no fucking clue. I just had a vision.
I believed you. You felt right.
I knew, I did know, but I didn't know how.
You didn't know how.
I was just
right.
doing it. They don't make a playbook.
And I think honestly, again, we've fallen into a relationship that we've built that we value complete honesty, complete transparency in one another. Like you said, you know everything about me and what I'm thinking, and I definitely know everything about you and what you're thinking, good, bad, dark, ugly, happy, sad, whatever it is. So if your relationship is not something you're looking for and you want to grow and you want to have this consistent, count on each other, go into war for each other relationship, then both of you should answer those questions. And definitely we're a little bit more traditional marriage where you are the man, you are the leader of the family. And I think, again, that if a man can answer those questions and get rock solid in it and don't complicate the most simple thing, which is after you know who you are, what you want, and why you want it, you have to be consistent. You have to and you have to do it because it's what you want as a man.
Right.
It's who you want to be as a man. That your wife doesn't have to agree with it. She doesn't have to like it, right? There's so many things when I look back in our relationship and I'm like, wow, if you would have given me input, which I didn't want input, I wanted somebody to lead me. I wanted somebody to be strong. I wanted somebody to say, hey, this is where we're going. But if you would have given me input on like, well, how do you want me to act? I would have been like, why are you asking me that? You are the man. Fucking tell me. And I kind of fall in line, right? I submit to who you know you are, not who I think you should be.
And I have a one-on-one client that's going through that same thing right now, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, great dude, and you know them.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And she's like, it was such a brief time. We got to know each other before we got married. Mm-hmm. And I thought you were something different because most of the time we were drinking or hungover. So you're a different person when you're drinking. Then we got married, and then now we got this life together, and you're like, you're not leading. Mm-hmm. So I'm literally, everything you just said here is what I'm coaching those guys on.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you doing that. I'm gonna let you get on your call. But listen, by the way, at this point, if you are a high-performing man who is struggling with alcohol and you want to lead, you want to figure out how to put it to the side, get back in the winner's circle, scale your companies, take care of your wife, take care of your kids, go to imacomeback.com, click the link and insert imacomeback.com/apply if you want to type it in that way. Fill out an application, talk to somebody on my team. That's it for today's episode. See you next week.